Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how I made some really cool Dollar Tree decor pieces, starting off with this Kate Spade Inspired Decor book. So basically, to get started, I had a leftover book from the thrift store, and I just covered it with some white contact paper. And then once everything was covered, I used some electrical tape straight from the Dollar Tree. And the trick to making this look very high end is to make sure that your pieces of tape are evenly spaced. So to achieve that, I just used a smaller piece of electrical tape to space everything out. And then once I got to the end, you can see both of the pieces of tape are kind of too close. So I just took the last one off and voila, it looks really good. Now I'm using some push pins and you'll see how it looks at the end. So the next book that I'm going to make is similar to the first one, but you know how they have those wall decals at the Dollar Tree? Well, I just cut out a word that I liked, which was love, and I ended up using some hearts, and this is the final look. And notice that little gold push pin right there just makes it look so luxe. So my next project was inspired by Tricia's page on Instagram. And if you guys are familiar with Tricia, definitely go hit her up and tell her Wayne World sends her love. But she definitely helped me to look at floral arrangements a little differently when it comes to inexpensive flowers. So the premise of this whole construction is to remove all of the stems and then use them separately. So by implementing that hack, I was able to get this really beautiful bouquet style flower arrangement from the Dollar Tree. I am freaking loving it. Okay, so next I'm going to show you guys how I made this bomb.com vase. It looks like a freaking Kate Spade inspired vase, and it's literally from the Dollar Tree. Again, I'm going to use that contact paper that I used on my books. And what you're going to do is just line the contact paper up. First, of course, measure it. And then you're just going to roll it around. And you could stop there. You could. But we're going to get a little fancier. And I'm going to use this gold decorative tape that I purchased from Amazon. I will link it below. It is definitely in my Amazon shop. And I'm starting with 2 rounds at the top and the bottom. And I could have honestly left it here. It looks really, really good because that's a metallic tape, but gotta be extra. So I did the same thing that I did with the book. I put a piece of tape down just to kind of, make sure everything is even. And I am putting it at the top and laying everything flat so that once I lift up this vase, all of my cut ends are going to be in the back. And then that's the side that I'm going to, face towards the back so you won't be able to see. But this was such a good DIY and it looks so expensive even with my DIY floral arrangement. I'm loving this, guys, for real, for real. Push it all the way up so that you can see it kind of sticking out on the side of the flower. Number 2, I bought 2 separate types of flowers. Some had the darker colored leaves, some had the lighter colored leaves. Take some off and switch them around so that you can have, an arrangement that has multiple different color leaves because that's what looks more natural. And then 3 would be make sure you put all of your tape lines down the middle of the back so that your vase can look like this when you finish with it, and all of the seams will be in the back. So if it doesn't line up, you just don't turn it that way. Turn it this way. So this one here looks better with the leaf. Oh, and here's another tip. The leaves that's left over, you can double them up. So instead of just having one little leaf, you can do like that and it looks a little bit more put together. Doesn't look super flimsy. Alright, so moving on to the next DIY. This is a Kate Spade inspired tray, and the cardboard that I'm using is actually the leftover cardboard that I had from the shelves that I purchased to go above my desk. And I immediately thought to myself, wow, I can make a really cute tray that I need out of this little perfect box. So that's what I'm doing here. Starting off again with that white contact paper. Can you guys see the pattern so far? If you guys follow me over on Instagram, you saw my IGTV of me making this, but I didn't give you guys all of the details. So I did mention that this contact paper was definitely pretty challenging to work with when it came to this DIY. So if I had to give you guys any advice, it would be to purchase a more sturdier contact paper, at least for this particular project, that is. Okay, so let me explain to you guys the steps that I took. I ended up covering this cardboard twice with the white contact paper just because the first time I could see through it just a little bit, so I wanted it to be completely opaque. So I ended up covering the bottom, and then I ended up covering the top. And you guys can kind of see what I'm doing here, just kind of cutting it so that everything can lay flush. And I will say this did take me a few times, so I don't want to make you guys think this is super easy. It definitely was a bit of a challenge, but it was something that I was able to finally understand and get, to work for me. So I covered the bottom first, and then I went ahead and covered the inside. So off camera, I ended up adding some more of the electrical tape around the tray just so it can have that, that polished look. And for me to add the handles, I thought like this would be the most simplest thing to do. I got some floral wire from the Dollartree, and then I made some holes into the top of the sides of that cardboard, and I just made like a little puncture. From there, I had more wire sticking up, so all I had to do is just put my handle, which is leftover kitchen hardware, by the way. All I had to do is set that onto the wire, and voila, it was a perfect handle. Now these handles are not functional, so you can't pick the tray up using them. However, if you wanted it to be functional, you could go ahead and use some E6000 glue or some hot glue, but I didn't want to damage the actual hardware because I may need to use it in the future, and this is more so for decorative purposes. So the next DIY is going to be a nice little pot holder for my bookshelf, and I seen this cute bowl at the Dollar Tree, but it was clear, and I was like, I think this would look really nice because the texture is nice and it's the right size. I spray painted it white, and I clipped off the little tabs that made it look pretty cheap, and I hit it with another round of spray paint, and I thought it looked good, but it needed some height, so I found these floral discs, and I was like, that looks good, but it needs some color. So of course I turned to my handy dandy tape. At first I tried it in black, but it didn't look so good, but then I tried it with the gold tape, and it looked very good, and this was the final result. Okay, so this last DIY is not totally Dollar Tree related, but I did use one product in here from the Dollar Tree. As you can see, this is a macrame top that I have, and I'm going to use it as some DIY art in my bathroom. So let's see how this idea turns out. So this looks different from this. I don't know if you can see it here. So basically I just looked at the piece for a while to see where was it connected, because I didn't want to do too much cutting and then have the macrame top completely unravel. So once I went down the sides and deconstructed the shirt, I was able to hang it up, see how I like it, and I didn't like it so much, so I ended up cutting it at the top, and then I layered it one on top of the other. But then I didn't like the fact that it had a gap, so I pulled the tassels apart and then I just reapplied them in the middle. Now I just ran outside and picked up this little branch. It was actually sprouting out of the ground because I didn't want to get something that was on the ground just in case a dog peed on it. But I still wiped it off with some Clorox ripes, and I'm going to use this to hang my macrame. This is kind of folded over and it meets the top of the other one. And remember, I secured them in the front just by tying the tassels so they didn't gap. And now it's one long piece. And what I'm going to do is take some twine that I purchased from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to secure it to each side, and then I'm going to hang it up using that twine on the stick. That is it, guys. That is all my little DIY hacks and ideas that I have for this video. Stay tuned because I have some more that I am currently filming and editing. So if you want to see what those come out like, make sure that you're subscribed. If you like this video and you found value in this video, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. It helps your girl out. Your girl definitely appreciates it. All right, guys, as always, be you, be beautiful, be chic on a budget, and I'll see you on the next upload. Peace out.